Good evening, everybody. Anything is possible or nothing is impossible, is what I think of. I come from a farming background, or from plantation field, and coming from a small village somewhere in the foothills of Western Ghats, I never had the inclination or the interest to go into the technology or the studious kind of thinking. My passion is and was always for motorsport. My love for speed started very early in life. It started with cycling, then went on to motorcycles, and then to cars. I was lucky to start my motorsport career very early in life because one of the most prominent rallies in India happened in our state, the beautiful Kerala. And I was able to participate in the second year it ran, driving an ambassador car. I don't know how many of you have driven this car, which we all survived more on mother's prayers and God's grace, rather than any technology engineering supporting us, because when you drive it fast, it went the way it wanted to go. You just pray and turn and brake. And my first foray in motorsport was good because I came fourth overall, and then there was no turning back. After that, I did all roles in motorsport. I was a driver, a navigator, a driver coach, service personnel, and finally ended up teaching kids who wanted to go racing when they grow up. And final area I landed was owning a team, the M&N Racing team. I always believed in taking risks and thinking out of the box, be it in life, be it in racing. And like any other speed freaks or racing driver or rider, I used to take a lot of risks, be it on the track, be it on the road, which I think is very foolish now. None of you should do it. And also in anything I did in life. Well, when I talk of taking risks in life, when I was just out of college, wild and unsettled, and when nudity in any form was a taboo in India, especially in Kerala, an undergarment exporting company approached me with an offer to be their model for their cover. I accepted with two clauses, that one, my face is not shown, two, the product shouldn't be marketed in India. They agreed to it, and I went for the shoot. But sometimes, the risk you take backfires on you. The company decided to market the product in India a few years down the line. And the worst thing happened. The first person to see it, when it came out of the poster in a shop window, was my mother, who questioned me on this. Of course, I denied. But to my bad luck, I was wearing that particular ring, which my mother said, then it was history. Why I'm giving this as an example of my risk-taking character is because that same photographer who shot me 28 years back is a well-renowned wildlife photographer, Balan Madhavan, who's my co-speaker. When I look back on my life, can't complain. I've had my ups and downs in life, in racing. But I certainly would say when you follow passion, your bank balance has to be negative. Till you reach a podium, somewhere you have to do good if you continue with it. But the satisfaction you get from following passion, achieving something, no money can replace it. And the success can be very small. However small it may be, the satisfaction is unbelievably different from making a lot of money. I'm sure all of you have heard the word racing always brings a few prominent thoughts to everybody's mind. It's money, fame, speed, and women. And I do agree it's partly true. The ones who fall into the trap of the side effects of racing never make it to the top. But the ones who actually follow the passion and are serious about it reach the top like any other walk of life. But there are exceptions, of course. I must admit that I also fell off the line, lost focus, and started enjoying the good or bad side of racing. But I woke up to reality and realizing that I'm not enjoying it anymore. So I decided to get back into following passion for motorsport. Till then, I even, some of people here should know, the IT people, I was selling coffee and tea to them a few years back in Technopark. But I got back into motorsport as a mere spectator. But I wanted to get more, and my passion was higher and wanted to get more actively involved in some form of motorsport. But my age and fitness level you needed to be in competitive racing was a question mark, so I just thought twice to get back into a driver's seat. I was contemplating what to do. That is when Mr. Anand, who is one of the most talented drivers in motorsport, suggested that I run a racing team for the first support race of Formula One when it came to India in 2011. And I took up the idea, jumped into the new role of owning and managing a racing team. And with my 27 years of experience in motorsport, I was able to get onto the role from the word go. Formula One coming to India is the best thing that happened to all motorsports lovers. The highest level of racing coming to India, and for us to be sharing the pits and the track, the ultimate level of racing was euphoric. We were sharing the track and the pits. Like you can see, that's a Formula One pit inside, and this is my team. So this is something which, it brought a lot of good, unbelievable satisfaction, high levels of satisfaction, which you cannot achieve by paying any money. The first year itself, I managed to run a 4-car team with two of the most talented Indian drivers, Arjun Balu and Gaurav Gill, and the two European drivers, Alex Waters and Philip Blayak. The next year was even better. I had a few budding drivers contacting me for a seat in my team from all over the world, because driving in a support race for a Formula One race is the most attractive thing for any budding driver who he can showcase his talent there to the big boys. I had a lot of people driving. I took 4 drivers again, including the Formula 2 world champion 2012, Luciano Becchetta, and Parth Gorpade, which he was a Formula Asia Pilote champion that year. And the icing on the cake that year was that Becchetta won third. He was third in the championship. This is again a perfect example of the saying, nothing is impossible. I can't explain, otherwise the growth and rise, following my passion to where from cycling fast in small roads of Trivandrum city, and to be running a team along with Formula One, it was a perfect example and cementing the fact that if you follow passion, if you persist with passion, you have to reach the highest level. But again, as any people, racing drivers, we get bored very fast. Again, the monotony set in of finding sponsors or running a team. The risky side started itching for something more interesting. That's when I happened to watch the film Rush. The movie Rush, which was done by Ron Howard, showcased the life of 2 legendary Formula One drivers in the 70s, Niki Lauda and James Hunt. And their fierce rivalry, which was so bad, finally ending James Hunt winning the title, but Niki Lauda had the infamous accident, and if racing lovers would know that, he had a very bad accident, but he survived and came back and raced the last year, towards the end of the year, but he couldn't win the championship. Both the characters are very different. James Hunt being the flamboyant playboy who would take any risk, and Niki Lauda being the calculated driver, not taking any risk. Call it my luck, fate, or destiny. I get a message on Facebook from Freddie Hunt, son of James Hunt, asking me if he could drive for my team. It might be my wild thinking or madness in me to do something different. I offered him a deal that if you get Niki Lauda's son, Mathias Lauda, to drive for my team, I will run a team in the MRF Championship in 2014. I saw this as a golden opportunity to recreate motorsport history 28 years after their fathers had the infamous rivalry in Formula One. And again, call it my luck, fate, or destiny, Mathias Lauda agreed. I was excited and thrilled about what I did, but reality hit me very, very soon. When I started approaching corporates or ad agencies, they just laughed it off or plain ignored me, thinking I'm either mad or plain lying. Because living in southern tip of India, in a small state, Kerala, and a small state in Trivandrum, I'm approaching them saying, I have signed up legendary names like Hunt and Lauda to race for my team. It took me some time and a lot of effort to convince the people concerned. After which, the media, the print and the internet, went wild with a lot of articles being written, blogs being written, which again was a proof to me that anything is possible wherever you are, whatever you do, as long as you follow passion from the heart. And when I actually met them in person, what struck me most is not their physical appearances. They were both copy of the characters of their legendary fathers. James Hunt's son, Freddie Hunt, was the same flamboyant, playboy kind of driver. And Mathias Lauda, Niki Lauda's son, was exactly like his father, very serious, focused in racing. But both were very fast. The more I got to know them, and the more I watched, I realized this is perfection of genetic science. And the way they face situation, be it on the track or outside, is exactly the same of what my knowledge on their fathers is watching a Rush movie at least 20 times. And I see them doing the same. Everything is, Freddie Hunt would take risk. He was wild. The Mathias was totally calculative and risk-free. I'm not sure if I can express my feeling when I first saw them go out on the track for the first time, because this was for me satisfaction at the highest point, because this same combination you will see later on, like their fathers have come out of the same, not the same corner, the same number, the same color. I managed to do that. It was not planned, it came out like that in a race. It's again cementing the fact that nothing is impossible. This is a message I would like to convey to anyone and everyone, is that you follow passion from the heart, nothing is impossible. See this is what I said. That's their fathers, 28 years back, and this is the sons. They happen to be in Formula One, this is in Formula Renault, 28 years away. So, to me personally, what I did is not the most important thing. But what I achieved by recreating motorsport history is what I was satisfied about, or I felt good about. And before I conclude my talk, I would like to tell you the exact words the legendary Niki Lauda told me when I basically got Jameson, erstwhile Jameson's son and Niki Lauda to come meet each other for the first time in life, with a bit of Austrian accent, he says, a very good idea of bringing history with the sons, and it was good for the drivers too. I mean, I was lucky enough to spend about an hour with him. This experience, this life, has been overwhelming to such levels that I hope to continue my association with these two good friends of mine, Mathias, Lauda, and Freddie Hunt, and hope to do more endeavors with them other than in racing. But you never know what future holds. And my last bit of advice, coming from the motorsport fraternity, to all the young people sitting on even the old, if you tend to drive fast, please don't race on the roads. Please wear your seat belts. Please wear your helmets. And don't try to do what you see on TV and in the film, because it's done by professionals in a closed environment. The cars are made very differently. The tires are different. The brakes are different. And even if you're talking of bikes, the tires are different, everything. So for the young generation, please don't race on the roads. This is my advice coming from a person who's been in racing. I was done this madness when I was young, but today I realize it's foolish. It was foolish. So it's my advice to the young, and I hope you all follow my advice. Thank you.